Ladies and gentlemen, in every corner of our lives we find negativity creeping in, whether it is in the form of troubling thoughts, pessimistic attitudes, or the discouragement brought on by others. To embark on the journey of removing this negativity, we must first understand it. Negativity, in its simplest form, begins in the mind. It is the seed of doubt, the whisper of hopelessness that grows into a towering presence, clouding our thoughts and coloring our actions. It is not an inherent part of us, but rather an influence that we, perhaps unknowingly, entertain. This influence feeds upon our fears, insecurities, and the challenges we face. But we must not mistake it for an inevitable force that cannot be stopped. To do so would be to surrender our autonomy over our own minds. The first step in removing negativity, then, is recognizing that we have the power to choose how we respond. Our minds, much like the garden, can grow what we choose to plant. We are not slaves to our thoughts, but stewards of them. If we take control of our thoughts, we gain control of our emotions. If we allow negativity to root itself, it will flourish, but if we actively seek to replace it with hope, gratitude, and understanding, our mental landscape will transform accordingly. It is important, however, to realize that the mere absence of negative thoughts is not the goal. We must replace negativity with something positive, for the mind abhors a vacuum. Simply forcing ourselves to think happy thoughts can lead to hollow optimism, a superficial smile that masks deeper problems. Instead, seek to understand and reshape your perspective. The trials and tribulations of life, which once seemed overwhelming and insurmountable, can be seen in a new light. Challenges, when viewed through the lens of possibility and growth, become stepping stones to a richer, fuller existence. How do we accomplish this shift in perspective? The answer lies in practice and intention. Start by cultivating gratitude. Each day, take a moment to reflect on the small blessings that fill your life. These are the first rays of light that chase away the darkness. Next, learn the art of forgiveness, not just of others, but of yourself. Holding on to grudges or guilt is like carrying a heavy weight that, over time, crushes the spirit. Release it, and you will find the freedom to breathe. Surround yourself with influences that encourage your growth. Just as a plant grows best in fertile soil, your thoughts will flourish in the company of positivity. Seek those who inspire, who challenge you to be better, who show you the potential of a well-directed mind. Embrace action. Negativity thrives in passivity. Take active steps each day to improve your situation, however small they may seem. Each positive action, no matter how minute, drives out a portion of negativity. With every effort, you begin to rewrite the narrative of your life, one action at a time. Negativity, at its core, is the tendency to view life, situations, and oneself through a lens of pessimism, doubt, and fear. It manifests in various forms, from the small, subtle thoughts that linger in the background of our minds to the loud, overt voices that dominate our emotions. To remove negativity from our lives, we must first understand its root causes, for only by grasping the nature of the problem can we effectively address it. Negativity is not a random occurrence. It emerges from specific sources within our environment, our past experiences, and our internal thoughts. At the heart of negativity is often the fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, or the fear of inadequacy. These fears stem from our innate desire for safety and certainty. As humans, we are wired to avoid danger, to seek comfort and stability. When faced with uncertainty, our minds tend to fill in the gaps with worst-case scenarios, leading us to expect the worst outcomes. This tendency can manifest as self-doubt, anxiety, and insecurity as we convince ourselves that we are not capable, not worthy, or not enough. It is here that negativity begins to take root in the fertile ground of fear and insecurity. Another significant source of negativity arises from our past experiences, particularly those involving trauma or failure. The human mind is incredibly adept at remembering painful experiences, often more vividly than positive ones. This bias towards negative memories is part of our survival instinct, as it helps us avoid repeating mistakes or falling into dangerous patterns. However, when we hold on to these memories too tightly, they become a lens through which we view the present. The scars of past failures or rejections can create a constant undercurrent of negativity, making us doubt our ability to succeed or find happiness in the future. Our past becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, as we expect similar outcomes based on what we've experienced before. Our environment also plays a significant role in fostering negativity. The people we interact with, the media we consume, and the social circles we engage in all contribute to the way we view the world. If we are surrounded by negative influences, people who constantly complain, criticize, or focus on the worst aspects of life, it becomes easier to adopt the same mindset. This external negativity can seep into our consciousness, shaping our worldview and feeding into our own internal fears and doubts. Similarly, the media, with its constant barrage of troubling news, disasters, and conflicts, often amplifies feelings of helplessness and anxiety. The more we expose ourselves to these external sources of negativity, the more we reinforce the belief that the world is a bleak and unforgiving place. Another cause of negativity is the internal dialogue we engage in, the thoughts we think about ourselves, our situations, and the world around us. Our internal dialogue often reflects our deepest beliefs and assumptions. If we hold limiting beliefs, such as "I am not good enough" or "nothing ever works out for me," these negative thoughts become a self-imposed barrier that shapes our actions and reactions. We begin to see ourselves through the filter of these beliefs, which further reinforces the cycle of negativity. Moreover, this internal dialogue often runs on autopilot, meaning we may not even be fully aware of the negative thoughts we're entertaining. These thoughts can be so ingrained that they feel like an inevitable part of who we are, rather than something we can control or change. Another factor that perpetuates negativity is perfectionism. The desire for everything to be flawless, or the belief that anything less than perfection is a failure, can create a constant sense of dissatisfaction and frustration. Perfectionism is often driven by an underlying fear of judgment or rejection, and it can prevent us from acknowledging our progress or successes. Instead of celebrating small victories, we focus solely on what went wrong, reinforcing the belief that we are never enough. This constant striving for an unattainable standard can keep us trapped in a cycle of negativity, as we always feel like we fall short. Negativity is fueled by a lack of self-compassion. When we are hard on ourselves, when we constantly criticize and berate ourselves for our mistakes, we reinforce the negative beliefs we hold. Self-compassion, on the other hand, involves treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a close friend. When we practice self-compassion, we begin to shift our relationship with ourselves, replacing self-criticism with acceptance and forgiveness. Without this essential ingredient, negativity thrives unchecked, as we remain in a perpetual state of self-judgment and self-rejection. Understanding the root causes of negativity is crucial for addressing it effectively. Negativity does not arise from a single source, but from a combination of internal and external factors. It is born from fear, past experiences, the influence of others, and the stories we tell ourselves. By becoming aware of these sources and how they interact with each other, we can begin to take steps to remove negativity from our lives. The process of overcoming negativity begins with self-awareness, the realization that the thoughts, beliefs, and influences that shape our lives are not fixed, but rather can be changed. Through conscious effort, we can transform our mindset and replace negativity with a more constructive and positive outlook. At the heart of overcoming negativity lies the power of choice. The idea that we have the ability to control our thoughts, feelings, and actions is central to any meaningful change in our lives. Negativity often seems like an external force that simply happens to us, something beyond our control. However, this perception is misleading. While we cannot always control the circumstances of our lives, we have the power to choose how we respond to them. This distinction is crucial. Our responses to external events shape our internal experiences and thus our overall emotional state. By recognizing that we are not passive recipients of negativity, but active participants in how we perceive and react to the world, we take the first step toward mastering our mindset. The power of choice begins with the understanding that our thoughts are not automatic reactions to external events. They are shaped by the interpretations we make about those events. For example, two individuals might experience the same setback, a failed project at work or a personal disappointment, but their interpretations of this event can differ drastically. One person may view the setback as a learning opportunity, an experience that will help them grow and improve in the future. The other may see it as a confirmation of their inadequacy, reinforcing the belief that they are incapable of success. In both cases, the external event is the same, yet the internal experience is vastly different because each person chose to interpret the situation in their own way. This illustrates the power of choice in how we respond to life's challenges. This power of choice extends to how we frame our thoughts about ourselves and our potential. People often get trapped in cycles of negative thinking because they believe that their past mistakes, failures, or perceived shortcomings define their future. They fall into the trap of self-limiting beliefs, telling themselves that they will never be successful, never be good enough, or never achieve their goals. But these beliefs are not fixed truths. They are choices to accept negative, limiting thoughts as facts. The reality is that our potential is not determined by our past, but by the choices we make in the present. Each moment is an opportunity to rewrite the narrative of who we are and what we are capable of achieving. One of the most empowering aspects of choice is the ability to decide which thoughts we allow to take root in our minds. Just as we choose our actions, we can also choose our thoughts. This may not always be easy, especially when negative thoughts feel persistent and overwhelming, but it is entirely possible. The process of choosing positive or constructive thoughts is akin to tending a garden. Weeds of negativity will inevitably sprout, but with regular attention and care, we can uproot them and cultivate the flowers of positive, empowering thoughts. It is a conscious, ongoing effort to monitor and direct our thinking. By becoming aware of the thoughts that arise within us, we can begin to question their validity and redirect our focus toward more helpful, optimistic thoughts. This choice also involves taking responsibility for our emotional responses. It is easy to blame external circumstances or other people for the way we feel, but doing so keeps us trapped in a mindset of victimhood. When we externalize our emotions, we give away our power and surrender control over how we feel. However, by recognizing that we have the ability to choose our emotional responses, we regain our power. This does not mean that we can immediately banish all negative emotions, but it means that we can choose how long we allow those emotions to dominate our lives. For example, it is perfectly natural to feel anger or frustration when things do not go as planned, but we can choose not to allow those emotions to fester and dictate our behavior. Instead, we can acknowledge them, understand their source, and then decide to move forward with a clearer, calmer mindset. The power of choice also extends to the people and influences we allow into our lives. We are often shaped by the company we keep, and surrounding ourselves with negativity can reinforce our own negative thinking. If we are constantly around people who are critical, pessimistic, or quick to judge, we may begin to adopt similar attitudes. However, we have the power to choose our associations. By seeking out positive, supportive, and uplifting individuals, we can cultivate a social environment that encourages growth and positivity. The same goes for the media we consume and the conversations we engage in. If we choose to immerse ourselves in negativity, whether through news, social media, or the conversations we have, we may find ourselves adopting those same negative outlooks. But if we choose to focus on positive, inspiring content, our perspectives begin to shift, and we start to see the world through a more optimistic lens. Importantly, the power of choice is not about ignoring reality or pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about choosing how we respond to those challenges. Life is filled with hardships, obstacles, and setbacks, but our ability to choose how we interpret and react to these difficulties makes all the difference. Instead of seeing challenges as insurmountable problems, we can choose to view them as opportunities for growth, learning, and resilience. This shift in mindset not only reduces the power that negativity has over us, but it also enables us to face adversity with strength and perseverance. The freedom that comes with understanding the power of choice is liberating. It shifts the responsibility for our well-being from external circumstances to our own internal mindset. When we realize that we have the power to choose our thoughts, emotions, and responses, we reclaim control over our lives. This empowerment is the foundation for positive change, for it is only through making conscious choices that we can break free from the cycle of negativity and begin to create a life that reflects our true potential. Shifting perspective is one of the most powerful tools for overcoming negativity. Our perception of events, people, and even ourselves profoundly impacts how we feel and react to life's challenges. Often, negativity arises not because of the circumstances themselves, but because of the way we interpret and frame them. By consciously changing our perspective, we can transform how we experience the world, allowing us to face difficulties with greater resilience and optimism. The key to this transformation lies in recognizing that perspective is not fixed, it is flexible, and can be reshaped by the way we choose to think about our lives and the situations we encounter. A common source of negativity stems from the tendency to view setbacks as failures. This mindset creates a fixed perspective that sees challenges as insurmountable obstacles, reinforcing feelings of helplessness and defeat. However, if we learn to shift our perspective and view setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities for growth and learning, we begin to reframe our experience. A failure is merely a lesson in disguise, offering us valuable insights that can guide us toward better choices in the future. Instead of feeling disheartened when things go wrong, we can approach these situations with curiosity and a sense of possibility. This shift in thinking allows us to see failure as a natural part of the process, something that everyone experiences on the path to success. By reframing failure in this way, we free ourselves from the paralyzing grip of negativity and instead embrace the inherent value in every experience, no matter how challenging. Another essential aspect of shifting perspective is learning to view challenges from a broader lens. When we are in the midst of a difficult situation, it is easy to become consumed by the immediate discomfort or frustration it causes. Our minds may fixate on the problem, blowing it out of proportion and magnifying its significance. This narrow focus can lead to feelings of anxiety and overwhelm. By stepping back and adopting a more expansive perspective, we can gain clarity and a sense of control over the situation. A broader view allows us to see that, in the grand scheme of life, many of the challenges we face are temporary and solvable. What may feel like a crisis in the moment may, in fact, be a small bump on the road of our journey. By cultivating the ability to zoom out and gain a larger perspective, we can reduce the emotional impact of challenges and maintain our composure even in difficult times. Shifting perspective often involves recognizing the role of gratitude in transforming our outlook. When negativity takes hold, we tend to focus on what is lacking or what is wrong in our lives. We dwell on our problems, perceived shortcomings, and past mistakes, which only fuels the sense of dissatisfaction. However, by consciously choosing to focus on what we have rather than what we lack, we can shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude allows us to recognize the blessings that are present in our lives, no matter how small they may seem. It can be easy to overlook the positives when we are caught up in negative thinking, but the practice of gratitude helps us reframe our perspective, bringing our attention back to the good. When we shift our focus to gratitude, we begin to see life through a lens of appreciation and positivity, which in turn reduces the power of negativity. A critical element of perspective shifting is learning to manage our expectations. Often, negativity arises when our expectations of how things should be do not align with reality. When we expect perfection, control, or instant success, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Life rarely unfolds in the way we envision it, and when things don't go according to plan, we can easily become frustrated or discouraged. However, by adjusting our expectations and accepting that things may not always go as expected, we can reduce the potential for disappointment and frustration. This does not mean resigning ourselves to apathy or inaction, but rather adopting a mindset of flexibility and openness. When we let go of rigid expectations, we free ourselves to embrace life as it unfolds, without being tethered to a fixed outcome. This shift in perspective allows us to face challenges with greater ease and adaptability, rather than with resistance and frustration. Shifting perspective involves recognizing the importance of empathy and understanding in our relationships with others. It is easy to judge people based on surface-level interactions or limited information, especially when we are feeling negative ourselves. However, when we take the time to understand others' perspectives and experiences, we open ourselves up to greater compassion and connection. Often, negativity arises when we feel isolated or misunderstood. However, by shifting our focus from judgment to empathy, we can build stronger, more supportive relationships that are grounded in understanding and mutual respect. This change in perspective fosters an environment of positivity and emotional support, which can have a profound impact on our mental well-being. Shifting perspective requires an acknowledgement of our own role in shaping our experiences. It is easy to blame external circumstances, other people, or even fate for our difficulties. However, by adopting the perspective that we are the architects of our own lives, we empower ourselves to take responsibility for our thoughts, actions, and emotional responses. This does not mean that we control everything that happens to us, but it means that we have control over how we respond to what happens. When we take ownership of our perspective, we gain the ability to transform our experiences and find meaning even in the most challenging situations. This sense of agency is liberating and strengthens our capacity to move through life with purpose and resilience. Shifting perspective is about recognizing that how we view the world directly influences how we experience it. Our thoughts, interpretations, and beliefs shape our emotional responses, and by changing the way we see things, we can transform our emotional and psychological state. Whether it is reframing failure as an opportunity, adopting a broader view of challenges, focusing on gratitude, managing our expectations, or fostering empathy. Perspective shifting enables us to reduce the impact of negativity on our lives. By taking control of how we perceive the world, we free ourselves from the constraints of negativity and create a more positive, fulfilling experience of life. Practical steps are essential in the process of removing negativity from our lives. While understanding the root causes of negativity and recognizing the power of choice and perspective are crucial, these concepts must be transformed into actionable strategies to create lasting change. Simply knowing that negativity is a product of our thoughts and environment is not enough. We must also develop concrete habits and routines that actively combat negativity and promote a more positive mindset. The journey to overcoming negativity involves consistent effort, intentional action, and the establishment of new behaviors that align with a positive outlook on life. One of the most effective practical steps in removing negativity is the daily practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present in the moment, free from judgment or distraction. When we practice mindfulness, we become more aware of the thoughts and emotions that arise within us. This awareness is the first step in recognizing when negativity is taking hold. Rather than simply reacting to negative thoughts or emotions, mindfulness allows us to observe them from a distance without becoming consumed by them. It is this detachment that enables us to make a conscious choice about how we respond. By making mindfulness a daily habit, whether through meditation, mindful breathing, or simply pausing throughout the day to center ourselves, we cultivate a deeper sense of awareness and control over our internal state. Over time, mindfulness helps us break free from the automatic patterns of negative thinking and fosters a greater sense of peace and clarity. Another practical step is to cultivate the habit of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to negativity, as it shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have. When we regularly practice gratitude, we train our minds to notice the positive aspects of life, no matter how small they may seem. This practice doesn't require grand gestures or elaborate rituals. It can be as simple as reflecting on 3 things we are grateful for each day. These could be tangible things, such as the warmth of the sun, the support of a friend, or the beauty of nature, or intangible things, like a sense of purpose or inner peace. By making gratitude a daily habit, we begin to rewire our brains to recognize the abundance in our lives, which naturally crowds out negativity. It's important to note that gratitude does not ignore the presence of difficulties or hardships. Rather, it simply acknowledges that even amidst challenges, there are still things to be thankful for. This shift in focus helps us approach life with a sense of appreciation and optimism, reducing the hold that negativity has on our minds. Equally important is the practice of self-compassion. Negativity often thrives on self-criticism and harsh judgment. When we are unkind to ourselves, we reinforce the negative thoughts and beliefs that we hold about ourselves. Self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness, patience, and understanding that we would offer a close friend who is struggling. Instead of berating ourselves for mistakes or shortcomings, we acknowledge them with acceptance and empathy, recognizing that we are human and that imperfection is a part of life. By cultivating self-compassion, we create an environment in which negativity cannot take root. This practice encourages us to embrace our flaws without letting them define us, helping us to move forward with greater resilience and self-worth. Taking practical steps to reduce negativity also involves making intentional changes to our environment. We are greatly influenced by the people we surround ourselves with, as well as the media we consume. If we constantly expose ourselves to negative influences, whether through toxic relationships, pessimistic social circles, or the constant barrage of distressing news, our mindset will inevitably become shaped by these forces. Therefore, one of the most effective ways to reduce negativity is to intentionally seek out positive, supportive, and inspiring environments. This might mean distancing ourselves from individuals who drain our energy or contribute to our negative mindset, and instead spending time with people who uplift and encourage us. Similarly, we can curate the media we engage with, choosing content that inspires, educates, or brings joy, rather than consuming news or entertainment that fosters fear, anger, or helplessness. By surrounding ourselves with positivity, we create a fertile ground for our own personal growth and well-being, making it easier to maintain a positive outlook. To these habits, setting small, achievable goals is a key practical step in overcoming negativity. When we are overwhelmed by negativity, it is easy to feel stuck or helpless, as if we are incapable of making progress. By setting small, concrete goals, we create a sense of direction and purpose, which helps to counter feelings of stagnation. These goals can be related to any area of life: personal development, health, relationships, or work, but the key is that they are realistic and attainable. When we achieve these small goals, we experience a sense of accomplishment, which boosts our self-confidence and reinforces positive thinking. Achieving even the smallest goals sends a message to our subconscious that we are capable, that we have the power to make positive changes in our lives, and that we are moving forward, even in the face of challenges. This sense of progress combats the feelings of helplessness that negativity often produces, empowering us to continue striving for greater things. Exercise and physical activity also play a significant role in removing negativity from our lives. When we are physically active, our bodies release endorphins, the feel-good chemicals that elevate our mood and reduce stress. Exercise not only improves our physical health, but also enhances our mental and emotional well-being. Whether it's going for a walk, practicing yoga, or engaging in a more intense workout, regular physical activity helps to clear the mind, release pent-up frustration, and combat negative thought patterns. In addition to the physical benefits, exercise provides a productive outlet for energy and stress, allowing us to focus on something positive and rewarding. Incorporating exercise into our daily routine can be a powerful tool for maintaining a positive mindset and reducing the impact of negativity. One of the most practical steps for removing negativity is learning the art of letting go. Many of us hold on to past grievances, regrets, and disappointments, allowing them to define our present and shape our future. Holding on to these negative emotions creates a heavy burden that drags us down and keeps us stuck in the past. Learning to let go means releasing the grip of these negative experiences and forgiving ourselves and others for any wrongs that may have been done. This does not mean forgetting or excusing hurtful behavior, but rather freeing ourselves from the emotional weight of holding on to anger, resentment, or guilt. Letting go allows us to move forward with a lighter heart and a more open mind, unburdened by the negativity of the past. Through these practical steps, mindfulness, gratitude, self-compassion, positive environments, small goals, exercise, and letting go, we begin to replace the habits of negativity with habits of positivity. These steps are not one-time actions, but ongoing practices that require dedication and consistency. The more we integrate these habits into our daily lives, the more they become ingrained in our mindset, gradually diminishing the influence of negativity and paving the way for a more fulfilling and positive life.